Have you ever stood at a jewelry counter just totally baffled by the language? You're definitely not alone. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on the official rulebook for all this stuff so you can know exactly what you're buying.
Like, what even is vermeil? You see that word everywhere. Is it just some fancy French-sounding way to say gold-plated?
And then there's gold-filled. I mean, that sounds pretty solid, right? But is it just a clever marketing trick to get you to spend more money?
And we can't forget the big one, the really modern debate. What exactly makes a diamond cultured? And does that mean it's, not a real diamond?
Okay, so these questions, they get right to the heart of it. This kind of confusion isn't just frustrating for us as shoppers. It's where marketing can cross the line and become genuinely deceptive. And that is exactly the problem that the U.S. Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, is trying to solve. So let me introduce you to the hero of our story. It's this document, the FTC's Guides for the Jewelry, Precious Metals, and Pewter Industries. Yeah, it's a mouthful. Just think of it as the official rulebook, the thing that makes your jewelers have to describe their products honestly so you're not getting misled. All right, so what are these guides exactly? This is actually a really key point. They aren't laws themselves. Nope. They're more like the FTC's official interpretation of the law, a rulebook for fair play. But here's the kicker. If a company ignores these guides, the FTC can and will go after them for deceptive practices. It's basically like a nutrition label for your jewelry, making sure what's on the tag is what's actually in the box. And you should know, these rules don't just appear out of thin air. They're actually the result of this really thorough public review process. The FTC asks for comments from everyone, the public, industry experts, then they propose changes, get more feedback, and then they finally issue the official guidance. It's this whole process that makes sure the rules keep up with things like new technology and what's happening in the market. Okay, let's put this into practice. Let's look at a real-world example that trips up so many of us: gold. I mean, when something isn't solid gold, the terms they use for the coating can be totally dizzying, right? But guess what? The FTC has super specific definitions for all of them. In this table here, this is where we cut right through all the marketing fluff. See, these terms aren't just fancy words for the same thing. No way. They describe totally different processes and standards. You've got gold electroplate, which uses an electric current to apply a really thin layer. Then there's gold filled, which mechanically bonds a much, much thicker layer of gold. And finally, vermeil. That one has two really important rules. The metal underneath has to be sterling silver, and the gold coating on top has to be even thicker. And that number right there, 2.5 microns, that is the crucial part. It's a legally defined standard. For a piece to be called vermeil, its gold layer absolutely has to be at least that thick. Now, compare that to your standard gold electroplate, that only needs to be 0.175 microns. All of a sudden, vermeil isn't just a pretty name, is it? It's a promise. It's a guarantee of a coating that's over 14 times thicker, which means way more durability. This is how the FTC gives these words some real teeth. But hey, these guides aren't just some old, dusty rulebook. They have to evolve with the times. And let me tell you, nothing has shaken up the jewelry world more recently than the rise of lab-grown diamonds. It has sparked this huge debate over what even makes a diamond real. And this right here shows a massive shift in thinking, all driven by technology. The old FTC guides, they actually use the word natural in the definition of a diamond. The implication was pretty clear. A diamond had to come from the earth. But as lab-grown tech got better and better, the FTC looked at the science and made a huge change. They took out the word natural. So now a diamond is officially defined by what it is. Its mineral composition, pure carbon, not by where it was born. And here's the FTC's reasoning, straight from the source. They said that because lab-created products have, and I'm quoting here, essentially the same optical, physical, and chemical properties as mined diamonds, then they are also diamonds. Simple as that. I mean, that one decision completely reshaped the entire industry. It validated lab-grown stones not as fakes or imitations, but as the real deal, just with a different origin story. So what does all of this actually mean for you, the shopper? Well, understanding this rulebook really empowers you. It helps you see past all the slick marketing and make choices you can feel good about. So let's boil this all down to a simple checklist you can take with you.
Okay, first off, remember that words like vermel and gold-filled have specific regulated meanings. They're not just fancy adjectives, they tell you exactly what you're getting. Second, durability isn't just a vague promise, it's often tied to measurable things, like that micron thickness we talked about. Third, a diamond is a diamond because of its carbon structure, not its birthplace. Lab-grown diamonds are not fakes. And finally, and this is maybe the most important, always look for the qualifiers. Ask about the carat fineness, the type of coating, the gemstone's origin. That's where you find the real story.
So let's end on this thought. Now that you know the official rules of the game, now that you know that words like quality and value are often tied to real, measurable, scientific standards, does that change how you think about jewelry? Does a lab-grown diamond feel any different to you now? Does that word vermeil suddenly carry a lot more weight? The rules are clear, but what we decide is valuable, well, that's a question only you can answer.